Okay, so I have a bit of an update since my last video, which I only filmed a few hours ago. And to clarify, this isn't really this isn't like this is something I'm not like just coming across typology. I guess that might be obvious, but like I've been exposed to this stuff. I was first exposed to typology stuff like 7 years ago, and I've been like getting more and more into it as time has gone on. Uh, So just to clarify that, I'm not just like, oh, looking up MBTI yesterday and being like, I guess I'm an INFJ. No, I'm an ISTP. So yeah. But what has been happening lately is that like my clarity around my own type and around the functions that I use personally has gotten much better. So I think that's why these videos are starting up now. At least if I make more than two of these videos. Um, So yeah, I have a video already up. The last video that I did, garage is opening. Should I wait till it's over? Not gonna be too long. It's gonna close, so I'll just keep talking. Um, yeah, I'll talk through this. So last video, I did a video titled "Why I Think I'm an INFJ," and this video is titled "Why I Think I'm Actually an ISTP." And it's just a slight correction from the last video. Um, those two types are pretty similar, at least from my own understanding. And I guess I'll get into why they're similar later. But yeah. So yeah, it's just another reinterpretation of some data set, which is what my TI does, as I explained in the last video. I'll go over TI again this video. I'm not going to go over introverted intuition though, but I'll go over TI again. So once again, what do I mean by ISTP? Still using personality hacker definitions. Not going back on that one yet. And to clarify, the function oscillations that I'm using, they are similar to the OPS animals, which are their objective personality system. They have a YouTube channel. You can look them up there. They have this concept called animals, which are just their name for function oscillations. I'm not using their function definitions though, so I'm kind of using their architecture with personality hackers content, I guess you could say. So yeah, and then the question is, what do I mean by ISTP? Also, I mean that it's not just TI, SE, NI, FE as far as I can tell. I think it looks more like this. And there we go. So you've got TI at the top, NI and SE on the sides, FE on the side. This is like a theoretical ISTP. I think in reality some people are more tilted this way and some people more tilted this way with SE over NI or NI over SE. This is a theoretical perfect ISTP, not like perfect in terms of like quality, but just like an exact ISTP. And so what I'm going to be talking about is not this function, or not this oscillation, excuse me, because I talked about that last time. But I'll be adding in more information on this guy now. And this guy, because I thought I was actually like this, which you could say is an INFJ with NI, with NI at the top, SE at the bottom, TI and FE on the sides. That's what the last video was about. Now I'm thinking of more of this, and I'll go into why. Now. So yeah, that STP oscillation, that's introverted thinking and extroverted sensation. Introverted thinking is really just about accuracy. It's about figuring out like what the actual truth is about any data set. It can be sensory, intuitive, it can be external or internal. But it's critical, it's skeptical, and it reevaluates its own thinking about things a lot. At least that's my TI. I don't have a lot of examples of other people with TI yet, but I'll be working on that later. So yeah, that's introverted thinking. From personality hacker, they call it accuracy, and they say it's essentially asking the question what makes sense, which is close, but I like it better when they go into describing it as defragmenting your mind or checking your mind for bad code and rewriting the code and making sure that your thoughts and your beliefs are accurate. That's my preferred conceptualization of it. Extroverted sensation. They call that sensation, pretty simply. They don't really have a phrase for the perceiving functions. They have a phrase for each of the four judging functions. They don't have a phrase for the perceiving function. So, but with SE, that's about. I mean, it's about sensory data. It's about using your five senses in real time in the real world. And I go in, and I'll go into a bit of how that's sort of what I'm doing, but not quite, with why I think I'm an ISTP as opposed to an INFJ. But yeah, that's essentially extroverted sensation and introverted thinking as they stand separately. Together, when they're working together, I mentioned like the Sherlock reference that I referenced the Sherlock show on BBC with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. That show, I think it gives Sherlock a lot of functions to work with, a lot of function oscillations. One of them that he's doing, at the very least, is looking at sensory data in his environment and drawing accurate conclusions about that data, accurate logical conclusions about that data. So when he does that, like when he's looking at a dead body and taking out a magnifying glass and looking over it for clues and putting the clues together, maybe that's some other stuff too, but at least when he's spotting the clues, that's SE, and then when he's drawing accurate conclusions about those clues, that's TI. What I would say is also, at least in my case, SETI, are these, this diagram that I showed earlier and the one that I showed in the last video. These diagrams are actually part of a larger scheme that's also a diagram. It's called a tesseract, which is just a four-dimensional cube. If you can look at, I'm not going to go into, I'll definitely make a video on that in the future, but a tesseract is a four-dimensional cube. It's a cube, it's two cubes with lines between each of the 8 points. 8 more lines, 8 more edges in a, wait, is that right? No, it's more edges than that. I forgot, no. What are the other, yeah, it's 8 more. I don't think a tesseract has 20 edges, but I should probably be able to do this because it looks bad, but I mean, it's a four-dimensional cube. They use a tesseract. They use the word tesseract in the Avengers movies for like the space gem crystal thing or whatever. But in reality, a tesseract is just a four-dimensional cube. Like I said, you can look at MBTI, personality typology, Jungian typology, neo-Jungian typology. It's kind of like a four-dimensional personality mapping system, and it's just you have EI. It's not exactly what the cube looks like, but it's the idea. You have EI, SN, TF, and that's like a cube with 3 dimensions. With 4 dimensions, you do JP, kind of, because it's another cube. You can do JP. Regardless, that's kind of what I'm working with my scheme. And the thing is, that's a 4-dimensional shape. And sure, I draw these things out on paper. Like I said, I'll make a video on that and show what it looks like and show what a tesseract net looks like. Like you can make a net of a cube, which is just two squares with the points connected. And you can also make a net of a tesseract, which is 2 cubes with the points connected. I really don't think, I think a tesseract has, which ones am I missing here? I don't know if I want to go into this now in the middle of a video, but I'm frustrated. I can't remember I can't visualize. It's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to visualize like a tesseract in my head, which I'm doing, but I just can't, I'm not counting the lines correctly for some reason. I think, do I have any redundant? No, it's 6, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I want to draw out 8 more points, but I don't think that's right. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, so SE and TI working together, I did that. Not completely, but why I'm STP and not NFJ. I think it's about conscious use. NFJ is something I'll do spontaneously, and I described NFJ in the last video as kind of social simulation, running social simulations in your head. I'm going to why I think that's what it is in the last video as well. But that's not really something I do purposefully and consciously and intentionally. What I do consciously and intentionally is draw out these diagrams of these of kind of the Jungian typology of personality types, with all the types, all 16 of the types represented, all 16 of the function oscillations represented. That's why I really like the that four-dimensional representation of the typology space, you could say, because it includes all of the things that I use to understand personality types. It's all there in the cube, or in the Tesseract net, or in the hypercube net. That's another word for it. But I do that consciously and intentionally, and I can draw these things out. I'm not really doing NFJ stuff in control or intentionally. It's just something that I'll just like start doing randomly, and it's like, oh, I just kind of simulated an argument with so-and-so, or a conversation or a discussion with so-and-so, and now I don't remember what I was doing, and now I'll go back to whatever I was doing. It's not really anything I do intentionally. Like, I'm not creating like whole worlds or societies or cultures in my head, which may be something somebody with NFJ would do more. Yeah. So I'm like, and the reason this isn't like super profound for me potentially is just because like I've been toying with these two types for a long time, and I've been kind of going back and forth between them for a while. I've been definitely toying with the two oscillations for a while, and I've been going back and forth between these two types, INFJ and ISTP, for a while. Because like I said, as far as I can tell, this is an ISTP, and this is an INFJ. So they're kind of just like they're 1 degree off from each other. Not 1 degree like out of 360, but like they're 1 degree of freedom maybe off from each other. That might be a better way to put it. But yeah, so that's, I guess, a slight update to the video that I did before. Yeah, I think that's all I got. I don't think I have a funny quip to end off on, but I do have some stuff to say about how I might want to do this channel. I would greatly appreciate if people could leave comments if they have questions, or I guess questions or comments, but that's what a comment is. So questions and comments. Yeah, leave those below in the video. People always go like, leave the comments below. It's like, oh no, I was about to put it above the video, but you told me to do it below, so now I know where to put it. Thanks. It's just like a soundbite that I've internalized, and now I'm regurgitating without even thinking. But yeah, leave a comment. You know where to leave comments. You're smart. Leave a question. You know where to leave questions. You're smart. I might come up with like a Discord channel soon or something like that. So if you're interested, keep an eye out for that. And that is it. Yeah, I'll be responsive to that type of stuff because I'm interested in like kind of building up my sense of what these functions do and what other types look like. And you can only really do that, I think, by talking to other people. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.